Tuesday, Guam.
Welcome back to News First on PNC. Guam and other jurisdictions are watching congressional action this week on a budget needed to pass sweeping tax reforms that will affect tax collections around the nation. PNC's Washington correspondent Matt Kay reports.
The U.S. House is expected to vote this week on a Senate budget that will allow the Senate to pass a sweeping tax reform measure with only GOP votes. Democrats would otherwise filibuster a tax bill, likely killing it. In the House, Guam Democrat Madeline Bordallo awaits details of the still developing tax plan that could impact Guam's overall tax base and mean less Section 30 funds, though the total amount for military personnel paying federal taxes on island could increase.
Because of the anticipated increased military and federal personnel and spending on the island. But the exact effect on Section 30 funding will be assessed when an actual legislative proposal is considered.
And lots of details remain to be worked out by the House and Senate tax writing committees, including which tax breaks will go away to help pay for a proposed doubling of the standard deduction and a reduction of personal and corporate tax rates. Bordallo will seek changes to meet Guam's needs, including Social Security coverage for new GovGuam employees. But she urged local leaders in May to plan ahead in case there are big revenue impacts.
Whether we want to delink from the federal code and develop a Guam tax system. And I wrote to the governor and Speaker Cruz on the importance of understanding how tax reform could impact Guam and take steps to insulate our government from any unintended consequences because of the mirror system.
President Trump is pressing for Congress to send him a tax bill by Christmas to notch a legislative win after repeated failures to repeal and replace Obamacare. The president and Vice President Mike Pence urged House Republicans on a conference call to rally behind the Senate-passed budget bill as the quickest way to enact sweeping tax cuts this year. Trump planned to meet with GOP senators in person during their weekly luncheon at the Capitol. Matt Kay for PNC News, Washington.
Well, after Senator Frank Uggan Jr. and Alicia Lim-Tiaco announced their bid for Adelup, the gubernatorial team of Lou Leon Guerrero and Josh Tenorio issued a release promising to support whatever Democratic team wins the primary. In their statement, the Leon Guerrero Tenorio team say that, quote, as the first team to enter the upcoming 2018 gubernatorial election, we welcome others to the campaign trail, end quote. They go on to state that this election is about having a choice. They also say, quote, we believe that our team offers real change and we are committed to bringing that message to the people of Guam. We believe that our combined backgrounds in public service and private sector leadership are what Guam needs to tackle our mounting debt, expand a shrinking economy, and improve the quality of life for all who have made Guam their home. However, as good Democrats, if another Democratic team wins the primary, we will support them all the way to Adelup, end quote.
Lawmakers discussed a bill today to get rid of the primary election this morning. Bill 45 would eliminate the need for a primary election and allow the GEC to hold only a general election. Here's more.
Senator Joe San Augustine said his Bill 45 was designed to make it easier for new candidates to run for office by eliminating the primary election.
The current primary process is designed to minimize competition against the political parties. The bill will encourage more people from all walks of life to run for elective office. This bill corrects a financial wrong. As it is set up now, the purpose of the primary election is to select candidates to represent the Republican and Democratic parties. That is the function of the parties and not a function that should be paid for by taxpayers.
Senator Mike Nicholas, on the other hand, believes that the primary is actually a good experience for new candidates.
I actually found the primary election to be a very informative process as a new candidate. You know, you kind of go through that primary. It gives you that first round of trying to figure out, where you stand.
So Nicholas says the primary allows a candidate to analyze the election data to determine what his or her strengths and weaknesses are. Senator Therese Terlahi said she is concerned about how a last-minute elimination of the primary could affect the next election, which is just around the corner.
It's 2017 October. 2018 is right around the corner. We've got a huge elections coming up in 2018. And I am very nervous about changing that, particularly in the gubernatorial race at this stage.
The vice speaker also said she's not confident that the parties are even prepared to hold their own primaries or determine for themselves who will represent them in the general election.
I think it's very possible between now and the election that the parties develop a different system that nobody knows about right now, and I guess that's my concern. I would like to know what exactly we are getting ourselves into for the 2018 election, which is right around the corner.
And I think what was being implied that there is a danger there that depending on who controls the party at the time will select their own candidates and not really be open to the fact that perhaps other candidates within their own party who are not favorably viewed by the party chair or the controlling committee, right, will then not have that opportunity to proceed forward. However, on the argument by the author of this bill, there is the provision within the law, or at least this proposed measure, that allows candidates to run as independents. And that in itself, I think, has merit.
Bill 45 was placed into the voting file. To see the full list of items discussed, log on to thepacificnewscenter.com.
All right, let's check in now with Joycelyn Atlick. She's standing by for the latest in weather.
Buenas and Hafiday, Marianas. Thank you for joining us at PNC for your local weather forecast. Brought to you by the First Hawaiian Bank, I'm Joycelyn Atlick. Alrighty, folks, what beautiful midweek weather we've got today, as Tropical Storm Saula 27W has now passed the Marianas, 675 miles west of Guam, making its way south of Japan by the weekend. It has, however, left behind a beautiful breeze for us coming from the south at 15 to 20 miles per hour, which pairs nicely with our 101-degree heat index. We've had partly sunny skies today with slight chances of isolated showers and thunderstorms. This pattern may continue on to tomorrow, but with our breeze calming a bit at 10 to 15 miles per hour from the southeast, with our heat index staying at 101. Friday may be partly cloudy with slight chances of showers and northeast winds staying within 10 to 15 miles per hour as well. Our highs and lows will be in the upper 80s and 70s, and our small craft and high surf advisories remain active until 6 p.m. this evening with seas of 8 to 10 feet and surf along east and south facing reefs of 10 to 12 feet. And a more detailed forecast is also available at thepacificnewscenter.com. Have a wonderful Wednesday, everyone. Dank lunes Jesus maasi, zana Dios.
PNC Weather Report is brought to you by First Hawaiian Bank. It all starts with yes.